Hello and welcome to Roll for Topic, a roundtable discussion about topics related to running role-playing games. Well, that's at least what we usually do. This time we're going to be playing a dungeon live on air. So I am joined by four lovely individuals, who I'll introduce in just a second. But this is part 2 of our Build a Dungeon, Play a Dungeon for this year. So if you listen to the last episode, we built a dungeon live on air, and this episode we're actually going to play it. So if you're interested in hearing some of the brainstorming process, you can hit pause on this, go listen to that one and come back to this. Or you can listen to this and then go back and listen to the brainstorming one and be like, I can't believe they didn't do this, that, or the other from it, which often happens too. We are going to be playing a game called Mouse Ritter today. So this is a game where you play little like kind of woodland creatures, but set in very like human type settlements as well. So we will get more into that and like characters and some of the mechanics and stuff like that in just a little bit. So before I keep rambling, I will introduce everybody. So I'm Chris Salzman. I'll be running the game today. And then why don't we just go around? Let's see. Why don't you introduce yourself, however you want to be, your name, however you want to be referred to on air, and then if you have a character already picked out, you can go ahead and introduce like your character name too. So we'll start with, just on my window, we'll start with Abby.
Hi, I am Abby Jevons, and I will be playing Iris Black.
Ooh, okay. All right. Then we'll go to Joe.
Hi, I am Joe Jevons. My pronouns are they, them, and I haven't picked a character yet.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That is totally fine. We will get into that in just a little bit. Let's see, Liz?
Hi, I'm Liz Decker, and I haven't picked a character yet either.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Brandon.
Hi, I'm Brandon Caruth. Also, they, them pronouns, and keeping with the theme, we're going to discover live together who I'm about to be.
That's great.
Oh, I love Abby's decisiveness.
Yes.
I had 2 in mind, so I was like, well, I'll just choose one.
That's great. Abby, you get your first choice. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much for agreeing to this. This should be really fun. So I sent you some pre-generated characters earlier on. So if you want to pull those up, you can. Each of your character sheets here. So Mouse Ritter is like, there are some rules and some complexity to it, but it's really pretty simple, sort of at its heart. As you're looking at the character sheets, right, you have a name. Most of these names are very nature themed because you're mice and sort of you interact with nature. It is not a jokey thing either. So like this one that I'm looking at right now is Crocus, Deer Rider, right? Like that is like Crocus likes crocuses, right? That's why that's their name. So it's not so just keeping that in mind, sort of like how would you name yourself and how would you present yourself if you were a small tiny creature like that. But looking at the character sheet, so each of the mice have a couple stats here. So you have strength, dexterity, and will. These will come up in various places. So, strength is if you're ever going to try to do something that requires some sort of strength or like constitution, you can kind of roll all those things into one, and we'll do saves against those things. Mouse Ritter is unique in that you try to roll under your score. So if you're used to like D&D, you're always trying to roll like above like that. So like Crocus, for example, right, has a strength of 11. If you ever had to do a strength check, right, you try to roll 11 or under on that. Dexterity is for anything that's going to be dexterous, right? Acrobatic, climbing things, what have you, like that. And then will is going to be, anytime you're sort of like either resisting someone else's will or like you're doing something that's scary, that's, scary, or trying to talk to someone, like those sorts of things. And you also have an HP number as well. The way that Mouse Ritter works is your HP gets depleted, and then after your HP is depleted, then we start taking away from your strength, and then so that number goes down as well. So I think a couple of these pre-gens, the HP is at like a 1 or a 2, so that should give you an idea of the sort of game that we're playing here.
I might have picked risky because I have 2.
Yeah, poor Juniper has 1.
Yeah, so there is a character in here with 1. I think the other way to think about this game is to kind of ground it a little bit is, so in a heroic fantasy game like D&D, a party of 4 adventurers might be able to take on a dragon by themselves. In Mouse Ritter, if you were going to take on a house cat, you would have to get 20 other mice to help you try to do that. that action. It would not be a wise idea if you to try to like 1v1 your house cat.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So that can kind of help level set stuff there. Okay. So I guess as you're glancing through those, does anything jump out to anybody? Any other the other characters? So Ab, you've already grabbed Iris. Let's take a look at Iris's stats, maybe.
So she's got a 6 strength, a 12 dex, and a 6 will.
Okay. And then you said two hit points?
2 HP, yeah.
A whopping 2 hit points.
A whopping 2.
Okay.
She has a bow, though, so, I'm hoping I don't have to get up close and personal too often.
Yeah. Okay. That's great.
I'm kind of feeling Daisy Snow, unless someone has very strong feelings about it.
Go for it.
I was between Daisy and Crocus, so I'll take Crocus.
I will take Juniper, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
1 HP.
Okay.
I'm small.
Dangerously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joe, tell me what are Crocus's stats?
Crocus has 11 strength, 11 dex, 7 will, and 6 HP.
Okay, those are some good rolls for.
I am
for
the
Crocus.
tank.
Yes, you are.
The tank mouse.
I guess if you were making your own mouse, the way you do it, I believe it's you roll 3d6, take the highest 2 for each of your stats, other than HP, which is just a straight d6 roll. So yeah, the computer was very kind to you. Yeah. Liz, what are Juniper's stats?
Strength is 9, dex is 6, and will is 8.
Okay, and HP was what again? Sorry,
1. I do have armor though, which is 1 offense.
That's
so
good.
Cool. Yeah, so
That's
the way that armor works is as long as you have that armor, every time that you are going to take damage, it's basically reduced by that armor value. So that's
I might
useful.
survive 2 hits this time
Yes.
if I get.
Yeah.
You've got
And
a
then
decent strength too, so like
We'll see what
you
happens,
won't be
yeah.
reduced right away.
Yeah, you can loot Juniper.
I'll get all the good stuff and carry it when I die. You can all have it.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Brandon, what about Daisy?
Daisy has a strength of 6, a dex of 9, will of 11, 5 HP.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. One mechanic note, as long as I'm thinking about it. So whenever you attack, you automatically hit, right? And then you're just going to roll your damage, which that's a pretty nice little thing there. Okay. All right. I think that's good for stat stuff. So we've got these, we'll probably tweak them in a little bit once we get into the story proper, but I wanted to take a minute just to talk about some like safety tools at the table. So like I mentioned to you all off air, I like to do this on air just to like kind of model good GMing behavior, I guess. Like I think it's important to have these tools even if they're never used. So because we're going to we have video, we're all looking at each other. If there's anything that comes up in the game session that you're like, I'm not comfortable with this for whatever reason, you can just hold up your arms and make an X in front of you, and we'll stop if there's any sort of like question about what's going on, and we can edit that out too. So it doesn't have to go live. We can discuss that a little bit, and then we can figure out a way forward like that. Before we get into that, just so you know, like content wise, there's going to be some violence. There will probably be some like creepy crawlies and like other animals and stuff in there. So does anyone have anything that they're like, this is a line for me, like I don't want to see this sort of creature show up, or this sort of situation show up in the game? And I can start first. So for me, right, it's really important that like there's no like children in peril in a game. So that's not going to happen.
I think for me, it's some of the fairly classic, like I see this at a lot of tables. So I'm not comfortable with scenes involving sexual violence. And I'm not comfortable with scenes where the PCs are the folks who are like engaged with, shall we say, enhanced interrogation techniques.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are 2 lines for me that I'm not very comfortable with.
Okay, cool.
I would honestly echo those lines as well. Those are 2 typical ones for me.
Great. Yeah, I think that is good. If there's anything else that occurs to you, feel free to just let me know. And again, like we have the X card that we can also, pull out if we need it. The story that we're going to be kind of telling together here is you are a group of mice that live inside of this old abandoned theater in small town America. So like imagine something like the State or the Michigan Theater in Ann Arbor, or like Grand Rapids has like the Welty Street Theater, right? Something like that, where it's like those were just like the most Michigan possible touches I can give you. So if you're outside of Michigan, imagine whatever your small town's theater is, right? The sort of place where you could go to see a play. They might also show like movies, things like this. So you mice live inside of this place. You're kind of like, your mice clan has been there for probably like quite a few generations at this point, but this place just sort of shut down in the past 5 to 10 years. You're all young enough that you don't remember the heyday of this theater, right? Of having to like dodge around, like, but also being able to get as much popcorn as you wanted, right? Like, but yeah, so this place is starting to fall into disrepair a little bit. It's boarded up. There's some other creatures that have started to move in. The electricity is still on, but like no one's coming by to do any other maintenance to it. So that's sort of the location that we find ourselves in. And you as mice have decided to take up residence inside of the costume room. So there's an old costume room at the back of the theater. Right. So, it's full of like, all the costumes of all the plays and stuff that were put on. So like, Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat, like his coats in there, right, hanging up. Like, there's, various robes and dresses and things like that, it just ends up being a very cozy place for mice to sort of, to make their nest in there. So you have access to any of the fabric that you want. So the costume room is located, like I mentioned, sort of at the back of the theater, just off of the stage. And you have ways to get out to the outside to get food if you want. But in recent years, it's become harder and harder to sort of maneuver through the theater. As I mentioned, like other creatures have been moving in. There's an owl, a screech owl that has found a way to get inside of the place, that has been using this as sort of a hunting ground now. There are spiders that live underneath the seats. There's something mysterious up in the box seats that you've never really been able to see with your own eyes. Recently, your grandfather, old Elder Yorick, this old mouse he's the last one that remembers what the theater used to be like. He has gotten wind that there have been some termites that have been eating away at this at the entire building. So Yorick is a magician, sort of in his own right, and he's been able to cast various spells to try to speak to the termites, and he can't get through to them. They just don't care. But they are days, if not, I don't know, maybe weeks away from eating through the very structure of the building, such that it's going to collapse and just sort of ruin the theater for everyone. So termites included. Yeah. So that's sort of where we pick up our story. Is in this scenario. And so Yorick is too old to really do anything about this himself. But he does remember reading in a book a long time ago that the thing that termites are most scared of is light. And he also remembers from a long time ago, before any of you were born, that there used to be, every night, there was this great light that would come through the theater and show these moving pictures on a giant screen. And he wonders if there's a way for you to get that light turned on again, to maybe perhaps scare away the termites. 3 days ago, he sent out your older brother and sister to go see what they could do about this. And it's been 3 days and you haven't heard from them at all. You are the youngest mice in the clan here. And it is now up to you to go out and try to figure out what is going on and what you can do about this looming threat that is in front of you. So that's sort of the start of where we're at. Do you have any questions for old Yorick before you venture out?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We're both deferring to the other.
Yeah.
That's great. Liz, you go first, and then Brandon, you go next.
We're deep Midwestern-ness.
Can you remind me where the owl lives?
The owl, so Yorick will tell you, like, of course, my dear. You remember the owl comes in through that hole up in the ceiling.
Oh.
Once a day, usually at night, to look for anything that it can eat.
Yorick, use the bright light. Where did the bright light come from? The theater is so vast. Mm-hmm. How do we even know where to begin our journey?
Yorick will like smile at you like, oh, you sweet summer child, you Daisy. Daisy, the light came from, and like it came from up there. It'll be so obvious when you see it. When you go out onto the stage, look past the seats, look up at the back wall, and you'll see that there's a small window up there. That window used to light up with the most brilliant glow every night.
Okay. All right.
Do we know where our older, braver, more capable siblings were going first?
You were young enough that I think like all you knew is that they were going to go take care of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I will. I'm actually going to share sort of a rough map of the place to you, because right, like people like like as mice, right, like you have scurried around, like, or there's stories of like how all these places fit together. You yourself have not been allowed to go like explore this place. So I think like I was looking up the average lifespan of a mouse last night, and like so Yorick is probably 5 years old, and that is like crazy old for a mouse, right?
Gotcha.
You all are probably like 6 months old, something like that, right?
Okay.
So it's like you're teenage mice at this
Love
point,
it.
like teenage young adult mice at this point. So
I might
go ahead.
also ask York, the mystery in the box seats. What do we know? How do we know that anything's there if we've never seen it?
All I can tell you is that everybody has gone looking and hasn't come back. All right, I'm going to drop a image in Discord. So it's gonna be a multi-platform thing here because I can't figure out how to do an image in the recorded thing. So if you want to pull that up in Discord, and I will sort of reveal things to you as we go through this. So this is my hastily scrawled notes here. Right. So for those who are listening, I just gave them a map of sort of the first level here. So we can see up in the top right, you have the costume room. The costume room sort of leads out to like behind the curtain of the stage. And there's lots of props and like other stuff back there. There's a Juliet's balcony back there. So like if you it's like this thing you can wheel out and it looks like Juliet's on top of a balcony like that. Then there's the curtains. You have like the stage proper. At the front of the stage, there is a little place where an organ can raise and lower between the stage and then down below. And then you have the seats themselves and some aisles and stuff like that. On the like kind of at the back of the seats towards the concession and ticket stand, there's one door that goes up to the box seats that you can go up that way. And then it's not clear here, but if you go into the concession area, there is also a ladder that goes up to the projection room. So, right, your mice would not call these things any of that, right? But this is sort of like the human equivalent of it,
the human
right?
words.
Yes, the human words were for all of these things.
And then, do we know what the trap door leads to, or just that there is a trap door back in the
You know that
area?
there is a trap door there. And Yorick, if you ask Yorick about it, Yorick will say, yes, the organ there. The trap door and the organ, used to go to the understage, but no one's been down there in years.
Okay.
Okay. And then I also send you, because you'd be able to see this as soon as you got out there, the second floor look here. So, once you get out on the stage, the curtains themselves go, kind of go up to the ceiling. You as young mice looking at that, you could say like, oh, we could, maybe climb those. It looks like there might be a way to get over to the box seats themselves. And then the box seats then kind of come back down to the back of the stage.
And the box seats is where the mysterious danger that no one returns from is.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yorick will say, it is up to you which path you take. I do not know. It'd be wonderful if you could find your brother and sister. It'd be even better if you could turn on the light. If you could do all those things, I would be in your debt for the rest of my life.
Absolutely, grandfather. We will
Yes.
try our best.
York will let you know that there's one sort of friendly creature that you know that has moved in. It is Juliet the possum that lives sort of in Juliet's balcony itself. So Juliet and York have talked kind of extensively about like what to do about the termites. Although York has like, they're good friends. They go way back, but at the same time, like York, you can catch him muttering every once in a while about how useless Juliet is in this. But that is one like friendly creature that you know.
Okay.
Yeah, out there. And otherwise, yeah, York will say like anything else beyond that, I do not know.
Okay, so we should also assume the spiders are not friendly then? Unknown. Unknown how friendly the spiders are.
Unknown, yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Suspicion will get us far. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I wonder. I mean, the box sounds so very dangerous, but at the same time, it's so much smaller than the main seating area. If the owl is out, I think the box may be the safer route. But if the owl isn't there, the box does sound very treacherous.
That is true.
Or it's so lovely that no one has ever wanted to come back.
It could be. There could be an idyllic
There's a
mouse
utopia
society
there.
there.
Mm-hmm. Daisy, are you a bad influence?
There's only one way to find out. And if it's an enemy, we'll make sure they remember us. And then maybe we'll stay. Because it's
Very hard.
It could be the best place ever. Are the termites up in the box seats? We don't know.
We could also see if we can find the difficult trail of our siblings. See if they've left any signs in their passing of which route they took to solve these problems.
That seems like a good place to start.
I would agree. We could ask if Juliet saw them as they were leaving.
Right? If she's in a tower is tall, and the box seats are tall, and then the owl is up high. So then we would also be up high and be very tall, and perhaps find things.
I want to be tall so bad. Let's do it.
Oh my goodness, let's do it.
Is that Crocus's dearest desire in life, is to be tall?
I think so. I think a mouse whose two traits are inquisitive and stubborn, like wanting to be tall, seems to match both of those pretty well.
Yeah, because it's like you're not ever going to be tall, but you can wonder about.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like you're going to head out of the costume room and try to go talk to Juliet, or
at least ask her if she has seen or heard any word of our siblings.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you can leave the costume room. I think like you've probably dared each other to leave the costume room before, but like no one really like goes for it. Right. Quite. Although I think like at this point you realize like this is sort of the time to step up and be the heroes that you can be. So you can step outside the costume room. So there's just a short hallway that gets into in sort of like the back of the stage there. Like I mentioned, there's a couple bulbs, like a couple lights on inside the costume room. There's probably one in that small hallway. But then once you get back here, it's pretty dark, except for as you look up, you can see a few like holes in the ceiling. Like there's probably some water dripping in as well, like that. So there's some light that's coming in back there. And you, again, like I mentioned, right, you can see that there's Juliet's balcony up there. There's some various other props and things like that. It also looks like people have just been like piling up like garbage, right? Some garbage, like maybe whoever owned this place has been dumping like old like sofas and stuff like that. Like they're just like, this is someone else's problem now, right? Like this is the sort of place that this has become. But you can kind of get a look at the glory days of the Artemis, right? It was like, not just movies, right? Like they were also doing these plays and stuff like this. Yeah. So I guess as you're going out there, let's maybe set set the stage a little bit, set the scene a little bit here. What are a couple things that you see as mice that like really stick out to you in this? And feel free to draw on any like theater inspiration you have.
There is definitely an unplugged, tipped over, broken ghost light center stage with a thoroughly gnawed on electrical cord that is just so tempting. I can hear it calling my name. That rubber insulation. It's tough to resist that.
Yeah.
I think I spot a pair of sparkly slippers that maybe have different paint colors. They've reused them for Cinderella and Wizard of Oz at various points. That I can see at one point when things are busier, some entrepreneuring mouse from our clan tried to use them as a bed for a minute. So there's a bunch of seeds and fluff like stuffed into one of the toes.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
There are probably some of those boxes, that you can use that are just like painted black, so you can like put them anywhere and you can like build things and stand on them, but they have little holes so you can carry them. But I think that probably because I'm tiny, I can fit inside. So I want to like duck and weave my way across the stage by like going inside the boxes and like taking a few like steadying breaths and then darting to the next one. Being really brave, but also it's terrifying.
Yeah. So Juniper is kind of darting between those, like, your armor is sort of clanking as you're like, crawling through in there. Let's see. I think you see inside of one of them, you actually find a skeleton.
Oh no.
Do you want to investigate further?
From inside one of the boxes, you'll hear like the clank, clank, clank of me scurrying about, and then as I like squeak in surprise.
Yeah.
But I will pull out my stick and I will tap it lightly to see if it's actually alive, because you never know. And then
you do never know. Yeah,
you never know. It's dark. And then I would love to investigate it, please.
Yeah. So you tap it, and it's sort of like it crumbles right a little bit, like it's sort of been in there for a while. It does look like a mouse skeleton, though. Yeah, in here. But this is it's your brother and sister have only been gone for 3 days, so it's not them, right?
Thank goodness.
Yes.
There is a moment I think where I'm afraid it's one of them, but then it's like, oh no, it's fine. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you see on that skeleton sort of person, I guess if you're going to investigate it a little bit, there is it looks like they was holding like a button next to it, like a shield. If you wanted.
Oh my goodness, can I take it?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Iris will kind of creep up next to the box, having heard Juniper squeal, like one hand on her bow, just like carefully, and be like, Juniper, you okay?
Iris, I'm alive, but there's a skeleton, and I have a shield. And I'll hold up my shield, and I'll strike a really heroic pose for you.
Yeah. Aww.
You look so heroic and valiant.
Gosh.
I'll point out the skeleton to you, though, so you could look at it, too.
Oh, that doesn't seem good.
No.
Have any of us ever seen a skeleton before?
Yeah, have we?
That's a good question. I don't know. You tell me, right? Like, so yeah, I guess let's level set, like how you're thinking about your characters.
Daisy for sure has never encountered this and has no idea what she's looking at.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it possible like... Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Crocus has never seen a skeleton, but is definitely trying hard to pretend that they know what this is, and like heard the word skeleton. It was like, yeah, a skeleton. That's what I would have said too. Those are bones. Those are bones. Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I guess so. What does Crocus see back here? Like in all the props and stuff.
I think Crocus found like an old dented French horn that had like gotten moved up from like the orchestra pit, but is like just up here, and like got absolutely confused by their own reflection. It was just like looking at it like, what is this?
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I love it. Yeah. Do you? Yeah, I guess like probably as you squeak when you see that, you also hear like the French horn itself like vibrate a little bit, like with that noise too. Yeah. So I think it's like there's another mouse, and like it's an amplified mouse.
It's a loud mouse.
It's a loud mouse.
Like I'm like stirring
I wonder if they're
over.
tall.
They're taller than me too. I don't like them.
Do you think that other mouse hurt the skeleton mouse?
I mean, they were a really big mouse. It could have happened. They were holding a weapon just like
hide?
mine.
Should we all hide? I like start darting between two boxes, like not sure which one to go into.
I'll stand behind you. Help me, please.
The one with the shield stands behind the one with the bow. Yes, good.
I mean, Juniper's only got one hit point. Yeah. So I think as you're sort of scurrying around down there, you hear from up on Juliet's balcony, you hear like something sort of moving around. Yorick would have told you that Juliet spends most of her time in her namesake's balcony.
Got it.
Yeah, I think she's actually probably like singing too. I think there was probably like a musical version of Romeo and Juliet that like the community theater put on, and like Juliet just got into it. Yeah.
Was it just West Side Story? Because that would be incredible.
Yes.
Does she sing well?
No.
Okay.
Oh, have you ever seen like a video or seen a possum, like how they just sort of scream?
Oh yeah.
It's sort of like that. Right?
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
just like the same, like, but like she's like stopping and like trying to replicate some sounds, but it's just not happening.
Amazing. Whoa, I think I hear Juliet. Should we go talk to her? Do we know how to get up to her, or should we call to her from down here?
You're gonna Romeo.
I was gonna say, do we need to?
Oh, we have to now. I will absolutely just stand as tall as I can to try and look like the mouse reflection that I had seen, and just call her, Juliet, we need to talk to you.
Juliet will like
no concern for what other creatures might hear.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Daisy is 100% darting for the closest shadow or corner. Like as soon as the hollering starts, like, nope, I'm out, I'm done, nope.
Yeah, so I think you're hollering. I think this like possum head sort of like peeks over the balcony and says, "Romeo." Oh, just a mouse. Is that you, Yorick?
No, I'm Crocus. I'm one of Yorick's grandchildren. We're looking for how to turn on the lights, and also our siblings. We were wondering if you'd seen any of those things.
Any of those things? It's quite a list.
It's just 3 things.
Yeah. Juliet might not be the smartest possum in the shed. Under the shed, smartest possum under the shed.
Oh, very nice.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, so Juliet will like kind of stop and like sing like one more bar from that song to sort of try to like, she thinks it's this grand conclusion to the song, but it just kind of sounds like everything else. And then she'll start to climb down, and I think like so your mouse is a possum. Like this is probably the equivalent of 20 mice worth of bulk kind of coming down at you. You can see that Juliet has fashioned like a little dress out of some of the like the fabric and stuff. I think Yorick has been giving her scraps here and there, just as they hang out. And so she has this dress on, and she kind of bounds down and comes next to you, and like sizes you up, and kind of I think looks over at where Juniper is hiding behind Iris.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, and like
I'm gonna crouch down.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, little mice. Yorick has told me about you, but I never thought I would see any of you. What are you doing out?
We're heroes.
We're trying to deal with we're heroes. Importantly.
You're most important heroes. Yes. You want to make a bright light? Do you know how to make the moving pictures happen again?
We want to Yorick said that would be how to get rid of the termites.
Yorick has so many ideas about those termites. I don't think there's anything to be done about those termites, but I mean, Yorick thinks there's something to be done about those termites.
Well,
you
we
said
have
you're
to
heroes?
try.
You have to try?
Yeah, heroes have to try.
Yeah. I mean, you can try if you want, but I mean, if the Artemis collapses, what's the big deal? You just go find somewhere else to live. There's plenty of good dumpsters around.
What if the Artemis collapses onto us, though? What if?
I mean, that seems bad. That seems bad for you. I mean, I could get away.
You're much bigger than us.
That is true. I'm much bigger than you. You are very tiny, but that one looks a little taller than the rest of you. And she'll point to Daisy.
I immediately
Daisy
try to stand
is
up
like,
even taller.
Daisy's like half obscured in a small pile of fake ivy that has fallen off of the Juliet Tower, and immediately tries to hide the rest of herself deeper in the foliage. Nope, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm just a very small mouse here.
So Juliet will, I guess at this point, I want someone to make a will save to sort of like see what you can get out of Juliet. So like, right, Juliet's very big, seems somewhat aloof, doesn't seem to really care, right? But also is not trying to attack you. So like, this is a friendly character to you at the moment. So yeah, I guess what would you really like to get from Juliet, or how would you like Juliet to help you?
Our siblings were sent on the same mission as us, right?
Yes.
So if we can get onto the trail of our siblings, we might be able to accomplish both tasks, especially if they're still alive. Maybe they know of a way to get to the light and they just haven't done it yet. Yeah. So we probably want most specifically from her to know if she knows what path they set off on or where they are now, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that sounds good.
Yeah, so someone make a will save. So again in Mouse Ritter, right, like when you were, or the check, right? Like, so when you're making these rolls, you're going to roll a d20 and you're going to try to roll under your score. So match it or roll under it. And I think I will give you, because again, Juliet is friendly. You can roll 2d20 and we'll take the better. Excuse me, the better results. And I forget what Mouse Ritter calls that, right? So in other games,
I do think they call it
advantage.
advantage still. It's just you want the lower now instead of the higher.
Yeah. So yeah, who's going to roll that?
I am probably not the best logistical choice to roll.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to say no. Yeah. That's why I was asking the very pointed question.
If we're going for stat optimization, it would probably be Daisy.
Okay.
But I'm also hiding under a pile of fake ivy. So
but that's fair. That's fair.
You could just be very pitiful. You're the tallest mouse, and you are very scared, and she might take pity on us.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It sounds like all of your siblings are looking to you, Daisy, and saying, Daisy, this is the thing you're supposed to take care of.
I will continue hiding behind a leaf of ivy, not making eye contact, and will call out from behind my very protective ivy leaf. It would be very nice if you could tell us if you've seen any other mice, if that's not a problem and it won't make you eat us.
Okay. All right, go ahead and roll.
We're going for under, is that correct?
Yeah, match it or under.
Huzzah. So my stat is 11, and the better of the two is a 6.
Great. Yeah.
Very nice.
That is confusing. I haven't played a rolled under game, I think, in quite some time. So it's like, yes. So, so I think Juliet will actually sort of like lumber towards you. So like if any of you are in the way, Juliet's just going to kind of walk and you get out of the way.
Oh, not good. Oh, not good.
Yeah.
Oh, not good. Oh, not good.
I think to be in front of Juniper, I am a little bit in her way, and I think I'm enough out of her way, but then her tail comes past, and I'm not expecting it, and it fully leg sweeps me.
Yes, yeah.
I will try to catch you on my shield.
I start dancing backwards so that I'm not bowled over by her, but next to Daisy as support.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, so I think you're trying to back away, but you find yourself just sort of backed into the same spot as Daisy. Yeah, so Crocus and Daisy are sort of next to each other. So I think Juliet will take like one paw and sort of like push Crocus aside a little bit, and then like move the leaf aside so Juliet can get a good look at you, Daisy, and say, "Other mice? Yes, I did see some other mice a couple days ago."
Where did
they go?
Where did they go? Yeah, and she'll point like, well, I mean, they went out there. They went that way, which just seems like a terrible idea because, right? There's the owl, Struts comes every day and flies around. Struts comes and swoops and does what Struts does, and they just went out there. I mean, I don't even go out there, but they're brave or stupid.
So yeah, she's gesturing towards the seats.
Yeah, towards the seats. Yeah, so like out into the stage towards the seats.
Okay. Yeah, brave and stupid. Yep, that's them. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it's us too now because we're heroes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Brave and stupid. Yeah.
Daisy stares off into the middle distance and was not ready for this realization. Mm-hmm.
Like, Crocus does not think it's a bad thing. They're just like, yeah, we're brave and stupid.
Yeah. Just like our older siblings. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, so I think Juliet will say sort of as a parting shot, be like, "I thought you were tall, but you were actually still quite tiny." And so then Juliet's going to turn around. Oh. I think like the tail is going to like 360 all around. So you're going to duck or jump or whatever. And she'll start to sing as she's scampering, sort of back up those steps up to the tower. Cool. All right, what do you do?
Right. Daisy, that was really brave. Good job.
I'm not sure if it was brave or stupid. How do you know the difference between brave and stupid?
I don't know.
It's only stupid if you die.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so we're brave.
So the skeleton was stupid?
Yes.
Oh.
So we're brave until we're stupid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's just stay brave. Let's stay
brave.
That's
I like that plan.
Stay brave.
Right.
Stay alive. Yeah. So Juliet scampered up there, right? So there's I think like from the map you can see right there is like some other stuff back there you've pretty much explored. There's the trap door. There's a door that goes outside as well. I guess we didn't really talk about this beforehand. The sort of like failure state of this adventure would be if a human comes and finds you. Right, like that would be like, right, like you could maybe find a way to take on Juliet or the owl Struts by yourselves, but like if a human shows up, like all bets are off.
We're toast.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So
let's not go outside.
Yeah, so probably not go outside.
Yeah, outside seems bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bad place.
Yeah, but you have so there's certain like the curtains which are separating the back of the stage from the front of the stage.
And that's where Grandfather said the organ came from.
Yes.
Is sort of beyond the curtains. Mm-hmm. But back here we have the trapdoor. Our siblings went to the seats, but that, as Daisy did point out, seems dangerous with Struts. Do we think we could go under? Yeah. Do we think we could use the trapdoor?
If you want to explore it, you can.
If we explore that way, it's not going to where the box is, and that's where the very dangerous thing that no one knows what it is might be that no one's ever seen.
This is true. All right. Let's be brave.
No one's ever said anything bad.
And look at the trapdoor.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to send you what you see when you look under the trapdoor.
Oh boy.
Again, I'll drop this over in Discord so you can see. All right, so you go over to the trapdoor, and again, you're mice, so you have it's pretty easy for you to sort of stick a head or a paw and sort of see what's going on in there. And there's clearly like there would be a way for you to squeeze in if you wanted to. As you look down there is like this you can see that there's water down there because there's a few lights that are still on. as well in here. But there's also some of the water is actually covering covering a few of the lights too, so it has this like kind of watery glow down there. There's some various things floating in the water as well. Like there's, again, some like theater stuff, right? So there's probably some like cardboard boxes that are like drenched in that water. You can also see, if you like kind of look down and out towards where like the stage ends, you can actually see that the organ itself is lowered down in there. So it's somewhat like waterlogged inside of the water. So you can get an idea of looking at it like, oh, there's a good like probably 3 feet of water down here. So yeah, you can look down there and see all that. There's a ladder that's going down into that area as well. But that's what you see when you look down there.
It feels pretty stupid down there. It doesn't feel very brave. There's things that are moving like upside down owls. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm good at swimming. I've never tried that before, and
I don't want to learn.
I think we'd have to swim. Yeah. Maybe we just close this door and pretend nothing's down there anymore.
Yeah.
No, but we learned something. We learned that might be a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
Yep.
I think all of these might be a bad idea, unfortunately.
Well, yes. We just have to choose the best bad idea.
Yeah. Okay.
The best bad idea.
Can I scurry?
Go ahead.
Can I scurry over the curtains and try to peek my little head through and see if I can see if the owl is swooping about?
Yeah, you can do that. I think who was looking? Were you all looking down in there? Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah, I think Crocus. I think the last thing that you sort of like see as you're poking your head out to then go scurry out is you see like a fin sort of rise above the water and go like into and to keep going. And there's a little bit of a wake sort of behind it. And so as you're scurrying, you kind of like see that and you're mentally processing it as you're scurrying over. All of the rest of you can see that there is very clearly something like swimming down there and splashing a little bit like that. So we'll get back to you three in a second. So Crocus has run over and you're peeking under. And you can look out and like this place is just so vast. You've never seen something inside that looks as big as outside. Right. Like, so you look under there and like, there's still some like, like the lights in a theater, like for like getting to your seat, those sort of lights are on. So there's lots of these like stark shadows of the seats being cast up on the walls and things like that. And you can also kind of peek up and you can see that there's like a few holes up in the ceiling like that. But as far as you can tell, there's no owl out there.
All right.
Okay. All right. We'll jump back to. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
What's your reaction to that? I guess.
Crocus is doing that thing that like rodents do, where he's just they're just making themselves flat as possible, like full pancaking at like the sheer terror of the size of this smith, just like muttering to themselves, like, "Be brave, be brave, be brave. We're brave as long as we're not dead." just frozen, looking at that like massive space.
Amazing.
All right, so we'll jump back to you three. So Crocus just like scurried off, but like you are probably transfixed by this thing swimming down there. I think you have heard of fish. I don't know if you've ever seen a fish. I guess, yeah. Juniper, you tell me, have you all seen a fish before?
I think that probably there's like books from backstage that we've chewed on, and we've probably seen pictures of things that live in water. So it could be a fish. It could also be maybe an alligator. Maybe it's an octopus. I don't know, because they're all from the water, but they all seem pretty dangerous. But based on the books I've chewed on and sort of made my way through, my best guess is that it's a crocodile.
Okay. Yeah, crocodile. Either crocodile or a giant squid.
Yeah.
One of those two.
Definitely.
Okay. Obviously.
I mean, definitely. I can show you the book if you have questions about it.
Was it singing? Because I'm pretty sure that all fish sing. That's the one that's up in the green room does.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because the only fish that I think that I remember seeing back there is when our sibling brought back that food from the place that said it was a fish and chip shop, and that didn't look anything like this.
Yeah.
But it tasted good.
It did taste really good, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a giant squid then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we think giant squid are friendly to mice?
Well, they are called giant.
Yeah.
That's true. And we're very little.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So what's your next move? You're going to go down? You're going to go out? You're going to go up?
Do we think we have better luck with the giant squid or with struts and spiders?
I'm going to look over at Crocus and I guess because you've been missing for a while and see that you are clearly terrified. Like, guys, we should go check on them.
Okay.
They're very flat. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, no. They've gone flat.
Do mice poof out their fur at all? I don't think they do. I think they just kind of
That's a good
pancake.
question.
But I'm picturing.
I think they just compress.
Yeah. I've never seen a poofed mouse, but maybe.
Crocus, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. There's so much out there, but I don't see an owl. I think.
Oh, there can't be that much out there. I start crawling under the curtain as well.
Yeah, you see the same thing, and I think you probably see what. Yeah, Iris also goes flat.
Yeah. I go flat for a second, and then I regain my composure and stand back up and be like, "It's not that bad."
I see that you do that, and I'm like, well, it's a little scary, and but it's not that bad. And I quickly stand up too.
Well, we said we were going to be brave. Should we?
Do we
go
out
there?
or up? Out
My
or up?
curiosity
What do
is
we
getting
think?
the better of me. I kind of want to go see what's in the box. But that feels like that could be a stupid decision.
in the box seats.
In the box seats that no one comes back from.
Yeah.
It might just be the most popcorn you've ever seen.
That's true.
It could
Never
be.
had popcorn.
I feel like
That would
Scrooge
be amazing.
McDuck.
I will say that there are stories, right, that York has told you, right? These are legends among your clan of every once in a while there'd be these giant tubs just full of popcorn that were just left in the seats that we could go get late at night.
Maybe that's why no one comes back. It's just all popcorn.
It's just popcorn up there.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget about our siblings though. If they went out to the seats and we go right up to the box instead of going through the seats, we might miss them. We should find out what happened to them.
But if they went, because we know they didn't go to the box because they didn't climb up the curtain.
At least not straight away. Juliet said that they went into the seats first.
Mm-hmm.
Do I recall if they had any distinctive clothes or accessories or needles or something that they had as weapons that maybe I could look around for and see if they dropped it or got caught on something and ripped or...
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic question. I think, so your siblings, Rosie and Gildy. Rosie loved the color red, so I think Rosie had a red cloak that she wore all the time, and I think Gildy probably had a top hat. A top hat, that he wore.
Adorable.
Yeah, I think those were probably their two little pieces of flair that they had with them. That if you saw those apart from them, you knew something was wrong, or or you were trying to play a joke on them or something like that.
Can I spy out into the seats? Do I see anything like a red cloak or a top hat somewhere?
Yeah, let's make a check. I guess this would be probably Will again.
Okay.
Yeah, so just roll 1d20.
I failed. I got a 10, but my will's an 8.
It's so high. Yeah. So you look out. It is very, very dark out there, right? You can't make out anything there.
Okay.
Just rows after rows of seats, and then you can see in the back. I think as Yorick mentioned, probably right. You can see on the back wall that there is this window that's probably catching a little bit of light that's coming through, reflecting off. So that window's up on the second story.
I think Crocus is right, and I think that we need to look for Rosie and Gildy, even though they're not dumb, but they are silly and make bad choices. I don't think they're dumb yet, but I think that they are silly, and we should probably try to find them.
That's fair.
Yes. Plus, we can hold it over them forever when we rescue them.
True.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Plus,
point.
what if we find popcorn when we go out there? I've never had popcorn. I've only heard about how buttery it is.
Right,
I don't even know what buttery is, but I want to find out.
Gotta do this. Like,
I'm getting really hungry.
I'm like hyping myself up on this. I'm gonna try to like scurry to like one side of like not so like gonna go out onto the stage, but not be like in the middle of it. Like I'm gonna run over to a wall and try to like press myself against that wall and like go out and like start making my way like down towards the stairs.
Okay, yeah. So you can do that, right? So like for like, I guess, right, you can go over towards like the trapdoor, sort of like on the opposite side of the costume room, right? Like, and so you can make your way along the wall and peek out, right? So it's pretty easy. I think, right, like, so there's the I guess I should have said this a little bit more explicitly, right? So there's like a projection screen that's behind the curtains that's down too.
Okay.
So it's like a projection screen and then the curtains that you sort of like peeked
Gotcha.
under.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can get along that wall and you can see it's just, it's a straight shot, like, yeah, just along that wall, down a little bit of stairs, and then there's an aisle that goes all the way from the stage to the back, the back. And so there's an aisle on either side of all of these seats, right? Row after row of seats like that. Yeah, so are you just going to try to run?
Could we scurry like kind of stealthily?
Yeah.
I think we run the way that mice best know how to run.
Just sprint.
Not in a straight line and under as many things as possible.
There you go.
Yeah, so you can start running if you want. Everybody make me a dexterity check. Let's see how stealthy you're being about this.
All right.
Oh yeah. Made it.
Okay.
Made it.
Wow, it's the first time I get to be excited about rolling a 1.
Yeah. Critical success. Yeah. Cool. It sounds like everybody succeeded.
I didn't. I failed.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, no.
All right. So, well, I mean, that makes sense. Juniper is like geared up for
I know. Juniper's got a shield now
so
on top of the armor.
Yeah, just clanking.
Yes.
Strong paladin energy coming from Juniper.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything with my button.
Yeah. So I think, you all scurry, and I think you make it, like there's once you get out into the stage itself, like there is nothing to hide behind. This is probably like the worst possible place for a mouse, right? Because it's open up like 3 stories. You have the wall on one side, but other than that, it's just, it's big stage, and none of you were exactly born to be like center stage performers, right? Like you're terrified of this, right? Like, so I think you're all scurrying, and I think Juniper, you probably like trip probably over some of your armor and like take a little tumble, and it's like it's not much, but right, like it's still the clink of like the thimble helmet that you're wearing and the button that you're holding, that shield sort of hitting the stage, like it makes a sound, and it's a sound to a mouse that means we have alerted something to our presence. What though is yet to be seen. I think you make that sound, you get up, and you all you end up making it down to the stairs themselves. I think the route that you've taken, right, like you can see there's the hole where the organ kind of can come down and up. Right, again, like I mentioned, the organ is down as well. If you wanted to try to look in there, that's an option. Otherwise, you're going to make your way down the stairs.
Yeah, I think we'll try to like regroup maybe at the like bottom, like gather into a shadow at the bottom of the stairs and sort of. I'm gonna try to like peer out of the shadows and see if like anything is moving now that we all heard that noise from Juniper.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's like the closest thing to like a hidden spot is probably at the bottom of the stairs, like sort of next to the stage, right? You're at least surrounded on two walls. Yeah, 2 walls. Yeah, so you can kind of huddle in there and start to listen. You do hear. I think you don't hear something. I think what you see is that one of the shafts of light, sort of above you, there's like a shadow that goes over it. For like just the briefest of seconds, but you don't see what has happened.
So we don't recognize the telltale silhouette of an owl by any chance.
It happened too fast. You were not able to get a glimpse of what it was.
One of the lights up there just blinked.
Wow, this job might be easier than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, I blink all the time, so it's probably fine.
It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If we think it's fine, then we should keep going.
Yeah. So in front of you, right, like you're at the stage. There is in front of you. You can see the seats. Right? So there's the aisle to the side of the seats, which is just open straight to the back. There's also the seats themselves, which, as you look into them, you can see sort of past the first row, and the light falls off, like entirely, sort of as you look under there. Yeah. So what would you like to do?
I think we should run under as many things as possible. That's how we are sure that we're brave and not dumb.
Right. So we're brave. Don't get dumb. Don't get dumb. So we're brave by running under things, and the things to run under are seats. So we're going to go into the seats and be running underneath them.
Just the largest number of things that we can run under. Yeah.
All right.
Yorick did say that we might see spiders, so we should maybe look out for spiders under the seats.
I hadn't thought about that. That's a good point.
What's a spider?
That's a scary point.
I think Iris has seen a spider. I think like at least an old, long dead one is in the costume room somewhere. Like all its legs curled in on itself, like in some corner back there.
Yeah.
Sometimes we eat them, but sometimes I hear they eat us.
Ooh, I don't want that. Go ahead.
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's real, but
fair.
It's what Gildy used to say when he was trying to scare me.
I don't know. Gildy lied a lot.
That checks out.
Yeah. He said his top hat made him fancy, and we know it made him look stupid. So
it did. No, wait. We can't say that they're stupid.
Sorry. No,
that's true.
Not stupid.
Less brave.
Silly.
Silly.
Made him look less brave.
Less brave. Yes, that's good.
The scale from stupid to brave. That's taking like a mortal wound. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what do you? I'm gonna sort of push you towards action. I guess. What's your next?
It sounds like the darkness might be a problem for us. Like you've been talking about like where the light is and stuff, and I know I have like a torch. Like at some point, if we're in too much darkness, is that gonna be okay?
Yeah, you'll have to probably light a torch if you want to be able to see.
Okay. So do we want to light a torch and then go under? Do we think maybe the torch will keep the spiders away? I feel like spiders like dark.
The torch might keep the spiders away. There's also light on the seats that's shining down at the floor.
That's true.
So we could climb.
Do we want to try to? Yeah, we could try to run along where the lights are, maybe.
Okay,
let's try that.
Let's do that. Maybe keep an eye out for any sign of Rosie and Gildy, just to see if they weren't as smart as us and like didn't use a torch and maybe got stuck in the dark.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna try to run sort of along the seats, right? So there's the little lights there,
sort of like right at the edge of the aisle where that light strip was.
Yeah. Okay, so before you can get to there, right? There's a gap of vast emptiness, right, between the stage and the seats. You gotta get across that. So you go ahead. I think you start to run, and I think you get just across that gap, and probably just to the first sort of like light, the first row of seats. Like you're gonna run along that line of lights like that. And I think that's when you all hear sort of like this flapping sound from above you. You're like that. Yeah, so everybody make another dex save, please.
Oh boy.
Oh, we love making dex saves.
Oh no.
Oh, that is a wonderful 19.
Uh-oh.
Succeeded.
You succeed.
I
Okay,
succeeded a roll. It's possible.
It is possible.
Meeting it counts as a success?
Yes. It does.
Okay, then I succeeded as well.
Okay, so Brandon and Joe, sounds like that did not go well for
Oh no. Oh
no. Okay. Yeah, so I think what happens, so Juniper and Iris, I think like you're sort of scampering, and then I think so Crocus and Daisy, I think what happens is you are running, and then all of a sudden you feel like yourself like get knocked back, right? And you almost like run into something and like fall, and you can see your sibling sort of running out in front of you, and as you look up, you see that there's this a screech owl, right? So like just massive to you, but it's actually kind of a tiny cute little owl, right? Just with like this puffed up chest and all their feathers out, and like making their head as big as possible, like that, and it's just looking down at you and say, "You're in Strut's domain.
Uh-oh.
What are you doing here?"
Being brave.
We're being brave. We're being heroes.
You're being heroes, and Struts will like do that owl thing, like rotate its head around, and then like come down and put its eye and its beak like sort of right up next to you and say like, "Brave, you look stupid."
no.
No. We're brave, and we're good, and we're here. And I'm trying to like walk to like put myself in between this owl and Daisy, just to like be a little bit of a barrier. I'm like, we are trying to not be in your space. We need to be past it to turn the lights on, so that the termites don't destroy the building.
You would try to turn lights on in my domain?
No.
I think I should just eat you. Yeah, and Struts will like sort of like, I mean, like move his feet a little bit, right? Like, so pick up like all those like talons, kind of like put him down. And I think that's just like, it's just so fast in front of you, right? Just like he kind of takes a little stutter step like that. Right now, right? So Juniper and Iris, you've gotten like past Struts. I don't think Struts actually like saw you, right?
Oh, okay.
Like just very focused on trying to catch two little mice right here. So I guess you tell me, did you keep running, or are you going to stop and help?
Iris,
yeah.
I don't want to be stupid about this, but I don't think heroes would just run away and leave our last two siblings to be eaten by an owl.
Oh, I think you're right. Okay.
I think we should be heroes.
Okay. What? How?
I have no idea. I have
okay.
no idea. I thought you had an idea.
Amazing.
Wait. Oh, hey, I have this rock. I will pull out a tiny little stone from my inventory, because I was stuck in a stone. What if I throw this over there? And then maybe it'll distract the owl.
You want to try it?
Or I could throw it at the owl, if you think that would be more effective.
I think it would be more effective to distract the owl. I don't think that owl's really big. I don't think our rock's gonna.
Yeah, I'll remind you yet again that like trying to take on an owl between the four of you mechanically would not go well for you.
A different plan also that we could do is I have Iris, bit of backstory reveal, is the ale brewer of the family. So I use some of the food that we can't eat and I ferment it into alcohol for us. And
let a child do that?
No, we're just the youngest. We're not children.
It's really an anarchy, right? Like the clans.
Right.
There are no laws.
We're an autonomous collective.
Yes.
I brought a small barrel of my alcohol with us because I didn't know how long we'd be out here. That's what it says.
You're so resourceful.
And I think that this is flammable, so we could. I also have a torch, so we could see if we could somehow maybe light his feet on fire to scare him away.
You could, this is by all means you can do this. Just so as a GM, I'm hearing a multi-step process that is going to create a fire inside the place that you want to save.
This is
so I'm happy.
We have firmly established who the Chaos Gremlin is in the party.
Yes.
I mean, my traits are generous and wrathful, so that feels right.
Yeah.
Mine are too.
Incredible! What a pair!
Yeah.
What if instead of leaning into our chaos and wrathful sides, what if we leaned into our generous sides and we offered this delicious fermented stuff to the owl in the spirit of like friendship and hospitality, you know? And if it doesn't work, we can throw a rock.
Yes, I like the plan. Well, so should I go up then and you stay hidden so that you can throw? Because I feel like if Struts watches you throw the rock, he won't be distracted by it. So maybe I should go up with this offering of the ale, and then your backup can be if you see that that's not working, you can throw a rock.
Okay, and if it all goes really bad, can I run away if all three of you get eaten at the same time?
That's probably the best plan. Someone needs to turn the light on.
Okay. For what it's worth, I do believe in you.
Thank you. Maybe if it all goes horribly, I can light the barrel on fire while it's swallowing me, and we'll at least take him down with us.
It's like a Jaws situation.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So you tell me. All right. So you have, so just to set the stage again, right? So we have sort of two mice behind an owl that is harassing two sort of mice in front of it. So yeah, I guess what's your plan?
I will try to separate from Juniper a bit first so that I don't draw attention to both of us. So I'll walk back towards the owl and my siblings a little bit. And then when I feel like I have a bit of distance between us, I'll try to announce myself loud enough that the owl will hear me, but not that I'm getting everything's attention. Yeah, and then I'll say, excuse me, Sir Struts. I come with a gift for you for our safe passage.
Struts will turn its head around, keep its body sort of still, turn around there's more of you. But you have a gift.
Me. I have a gift.
Just you. I guess Juniper, where did you go?
I think I've backed myself as far up against a chair as possible, while also being very wary of spiders. So I'll take a step, look over my shoulder, take a step, look over my shoulder, button over the head, just in case.
I love the mental image of Juniper backing up right next to one of the footlights of a chair. So there's this 8 foot tall silhouette of a mouse on the wall.
Oh my god!
Oh,
amazing!
No. It did not go. Yeah.
You can't see me. There's no sign that I could be here.
I'll cover my
what could
eyes.
go wrong?
Can't see me.
I'm hiding the light. Yeah. So I think Struts has turned its head, turned his head all the way around and is looking at you. And it's a gift for Struts. Now this I like. What do you have?
I have this delicious alcoholic beverage.
Not the family ale.
It is.
We'll make more. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm holding out a barrel, but a barrel for a mouse. So I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, it's probably pretty tiny.
Like a spool of thread that's gotten taped up on the bottom.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I mean it's essentially a thimble full of ale for such a mighty owl as Struts. So I think Struts will probably I think this catches Strut's eye a little bit. And Struts is actually very into this. That was a terrible roll. Okay, so so Struts is really into this. And we'll actually like
Struts has always been jealous of our ale production.
That's the real secret here. So Struts will actually like turn around completely, right? So like so the two mice that were in so Crocus and Daisy, right? Like Struts is now completely turned away from you, and Struts is leaning down and like looking at the ale, I think, and like kind of like smelling it a little bit, and it probably smells delicious to Struts, and so he will just grab it like lightning fast, grab it out of your little paws. And like I think just like crunch it, right? And, and so like just like crunch it and drink it, and like just really enjoying it quite a bit as it's going down. So while that's happening, I guess you four tell me what you're doing.
I'm running.
I was going to say, I think as soon as he turned around, I would have tried to like gesture maybe with my tail, so it's not super obvious for them to like go.
Yeah, you do have tails.
Yeah. And then as he takes it from my hand, I think it like startles me because I'm like ready for him to take it, but I've never been face to face with an owl before, so I did not know how fast they move. And then I'm just yes, and that is for you. And if we have safe passage through your gracious domain, there will be more offerings for you in the future. This is a family recipe, so if I go, it goes with me.
Keep talking. Okay. I'm gonna make a roll here.
Okay.
I love that. What a compelling argument.
Yeah, that is a very compelling argument that unfortunately Struts does not buy.
Oh
no! So Struts has finished, and Struts will just like lean down again and say, "More now. You can make it. Make more now." Make more now, and like Struts is starting to puff up again. So you three have. Did you take off down the aisle? Did you go down the seats? Did you go back? Like, what was your trajectory?
I think Daisy ran toward the seats. Seeing the shadow of a giant mouse on the wall was like, protection.
Juniper is still standing with her eyes over her ear, or with her hands over her eyes, but then when she heard the crunch, she thought maybe someone was getting eaten. So now her paws are over her ears and her eyes are closed.
Oh no! So what's so scary? Okay, all right. So you're still sort of all like huddled along the seats at this point. So Struts has sort of like demanded more from Iris.
I am assuming that the barrel of ale that I had was destroyed when the owl ate it.
Extremely destroyed.
For sure.
Extremely.
I don't think I can get another usage out of that. So that's gone.
I'm gonna swing up next to Iris and be like, "Yeah, we're on it. We are actually." Forget everything I said about light. That was a lie. I didn't want you to know that we were going to get more supplies to make more of our alcoholic beverage. We just need to get back to the concession section. I've like never had to say that word out loud.
Yes.
We need popcorn. We need
popcorn for it. And
some of that sticky syrup that's still on the floor back there, I've heard.
That it's important. That one's secret recipe. Don't tell anyone. So we have to get back there and then home to the costume room. And
so Struts is going to look at Crocus and be like, "You can get back there, but the wall is closed. How can you get through that?"
Oh.
Well, we're very small. Not compared to your greatness.
So Struts will puff up even more.
So if there's something that you want back there, maybe we can bring it out for you.
Strutz will think about that for a moment. I think, like you said, popcorn. I think Strutz is like very interested in that, right? So it's like he likes the treats, the treats angle.
The treats.
I mean, yeah. I think the doors to the concession stand, like when you get back there, or if you get back there, right, you'd be able to see. Right, there's windows in them a little bit, right? You can kind of look through. There's probably some like circular windows. Strutz has been able to see in there. But he's never been able to get in there, and he's always wanted to get in there. Okay. And it sounds like you're offering to get in there for Strutz.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, of course, Strutz.
Okay. So I guess so someone make the pitch to Strutz about like, so Strutz is going to say like, you get in there and you open the door for Strutz.
Yes, correct.
Well, I don't know how to open a door. Do you know how to open a door? I say that.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Have we opened?
If you don't open the door, at least you bring in like Strutz will describe something to you that like you as humans would understand is like a box of candy, right? That like Strutz has been able to see through that concession stand. Like, so Strutz will describe like this rectangular obelisk that sits behind the window. I want that. Bring it to me, and you can go free.
The box of stale junior mints.
Yes. Extremely stale. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that we can do. We can get an obelisk out. Almost. I mean, certainly we can do that.
We most definitely can get you the obelisk.
Strutz will say to you, but if you don't, I know where you live.
This is true.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Right there through the trap door, under the stage. Yep. Right there.
Yeah. And Strutz will like cock his head a little bit, like, I knew that. Again, Strutz rolled very well for different games.
While I'm like very up close with Strutz, something that has crossed Iris's mind in this mortal peril situation. Can I examine like his talons and his beak and see if there's any like red fabric?
Oh, that's really good.
Or a top hat adjacent.
Or, I think I
sporting a jaunty top hat.
The tiniest
just
little...
now noticing.
That would be so funny.
The tiny little Monopoly piece.
Yeah. You do not see anything like that on Strutz. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Strutz will take off and say like, I expect it, like he'll say like, bring it to the stage and, like feed me basically. Right. Like, he's like, you go do that and bring it back. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do. We'll place it in the middle of the stage for Strutz.
Yeah. Okay. So in the interest of time, like we'll say like you can make it back to the concession area, pretty easily. At this point, I guess I will ask one last time: do you go underneath the seats at all? Anything like that?
I think now that we've talked to Strutz, I'm like, well, it's out in the open now, so I'm just going to kind of step to the middle of the aisle because the spiders are still an unknown and kind of go that way down. Okay.
All right. Yeah. So you can make your way to the back of the theater. So again, I'll point out, right. So like on the back wall, right, there's the door to the concession stand. The concession and ticket area. There's also like on the opposite aisle from you, there is some stairs that go up to the box seats as well. So those are your two options.
Okay.
Strutz is watching you. I think Strutz is like flying around the theater, probably like admiring his shadow as it's cast around everything. Like it's probably pretty scary, right? There's this owl flying around.
Yeah.
Menacing owl. Love the vibes.
Yeah. Okay. We should figure out how to get into Kinkekins, right?
Kinkekins, that's how it is. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes. You got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So maybe we'll look. Go ahead.
Are there any like holes in the wall anywhere, or any like, does it look like the door has been like compromised at all over time?
Yeah, I think when you get up to it, like there's some like mold right in there, and I think like this is right. Like I think I mentioned at the beginning, right? The theater has been abandoned for a little bit. You as mice wouldn't really necessarily know how to read these things, but there's some like posters up on the walls and stuff that say like save the historic theater, right? Like, donate today, like help us revitalize this, like linchpin of the community, this landmark, right? Those sorts of things like that. So like this place was in disrepair before it shut down. So I think that the door to the concession stand, it's the sort of thing that people have been kicking open for 50 years. Right. So the bottom of it's probably pretty torn up like that. It's for sure the sort of thing you could squeeze your way through. Okay. Although I will note that it is also like barred, right? Like someone has gone through and nailed some 2x4s across it. So yeah, you can't open it.
I think the way in is to be very, very flat.
I'm so good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Is the ladder to the projection room in the concessions room?
Yes, yeah, this is not clear. Yeah, sorry, I should have drawn this a little bit clearer. Yeah, so it's like the you go into the concession area and then there's a little alcove with a ladder that goes up to the projection.
So we have to get in there either for both of our goals, for getting to the light and for getting the obelisk. Okay. Yeah, let's get flat.
Let's get flat.
Brave and flat.
Brave and flat. Yeah. This is not super hard, right? You find a way to squeeze through. I think Juniper, it's probably like a little bit harder for you. Like you might have to like push your
pass your button to me. I'll give it to you once you're through.
I'll pass you my button and I'll pass you my stick.
Yeah.
George is handing you all my stuff.
Yeah.
Fully undone. Yeah,
I got rid of my biggest thing by giving the owl the barrel, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you get through and you get into the concession area. Excuse me. Yeah, so I think what you see in here, right? There's sort of like a glass case, which like that's where like the obelisk, right, is inside of there. There's like a few other things in there. I mean, it has been picked over for some reason. Someone left the junior mints, but yeah, there's also like again, like you would recognize it as, or like humans would recognize it as a popcorn maker. Mm-hmm. Like that. There is, let's see, I'm trying to think like what else you see. There's like a cash register up there as well. And then the doors again, there's some doors at the far end of the concession area, like that go outside. So you can see through the windows and stuff a little bit, right? It's starting to get darker outside as well. That's about all you can see from here.
Okay.
I smell the sweet, sweet ambrosia of salt and fat. And I am making a beeline for it any which way I have to go to get inside that popcorn maker, and I'm just rolling in the bottom of it. I am going to be the greasiest little mouse that there ever was.
Yeah, so I will
5-year-old popcorn.
Oh
no! Yeah. So you are, as you are, like you're being like, the scent is bringing you in. I think you scurry up there. I think it's pretty easy for you to get kind of up on top of the glass case. It's probably like pretty surreal, like walking across that for you too, right? It's just like there's nothing below you, but you're walking, you're walking across it, but your nose is you're following your nose at this point. As you get closer and closer to this popcorn thing, you can see that it's like, right, like a popcorn maker at a theater, right? Like it's full of popcorn, right? Like you can't see, it's not full of popcorn. You get closer and closer and closer, and you get it and you kind of peer inside of there, and you see that there's really only just like kernels in there, but there's also some sort of like form that's laying in there as well.
Is it a furry form?
It is a furry form.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
There's competition.
Compared to a mouse, what size of furry form?
It is a mouse that is slightly bigger than you.
Okay. Well, I think while Daisy's doing that, I would be trying to see, can we get the obelisk like off whatever shelf it's on? Because it's probably like as big as us, right?
Oh, yeah, it is pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I can clamber up there and like brace myself against the case and like shove it with my paws so gravity does the rest.
Yeah, I think you could do that. Yeah, you could get it. You could get it down to the ground pretty easily. Cool. I think so. What I will say is that you will have you're not going to be able to get it through the door.
I know.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I will also remind you that like maybe you lied to Struts too.
What?
Maybe we do. We'll see.
So I mean,
a threatening creature.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I am generous. Maybe I'm trying to fulfill my promise.
Yeah. So if you want to get it back to Struts, it's probably not going to go through that door necessarily.
Okay. Yeah. But I think when I'm up there, I noticed that Daisy has hesitated on the edge of the popcorn maker.
Yeah. Daisy, tell me more about what you do. So you see this form down there. You're sort of in a battle of your like. Actually, make a will check for me.
All right.
Yeah, you told me how fast you ran over there.
Nat 20, you just dive right in.
Oh, no.
I succeed. On the will check.
Cool. All right, so that is enough to stop you from just like whatever,
diving into it.
Yeah,
so I don't swan dive into my competitor mouse.
Yeah. So that competitor mouse, right, is not really moving down there. I think as you pull up and you sort of like look down, you can't see. And then I think the other thing that you do see down there is a top hat.
Oh no!
I am going to pause and stand up to my full height and adjust the silk ivy leaf that I have had on my head this whole time to remind me to be brave.
Yeah.
And I will call out, hail, friend, and be recognized. Are you friendly? Guilty?
There's no answer.
I'm having heard that. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna. I having heard that, I'm also making my way towards Daisy. So if you're doing something, go ahead.
No, I'm scampering over as well. Especially once you say guilty, I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
So I think you get there, and then I guess Juniper, are you coming too? Or?
Yeah, I'll also go too.
Okay. Yeah.
Does it seem like it's something where we could maybe hold on to a tail and does it seem like it's something where if you go in, it's going to be hard to get back out?
Yes.
Okay.
As Brandon alluded to, right, it's quite greasy in there. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a good thing that Daisy did not just jump straight in because it looks like, it looks like maybe it's hard to get out. Yeah. So you mentioned, do you want to try to make some sort of tail rope right down there?
We can just to see if that is
our
brother.
Yeah.
So it is. Yeah. Tail chain. So I think it just so happens that that figure is about four mice away.
Perfect.
I guess 3 mice away from you, with one standing up there holding on to your tail.
Crocus, do you want to be the base of our tail chain? You're our strongest sibling.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I gotcha.
I'm very long. I should be in the chain.
Okay, you can be in the chain.
Crocus, make a strength check with.
No.
You can do this with advantage though, because we're not, you have time to sort of set up.
Brace yourself.
All right.
Yeah. So I think what's going to happen is Crocus is holding on to someone's tail. Mm-hmm. Who's going to be at the front? I guess.
Do we feel like there's any what do we want the person in front to do? Are we just checking to see if this is our brother, or are we trying to? I'd probably not get the body. We could try to get the top hat.
Yeah, maybe try to get the top hat. If we could poke the body and it's dead, then
get the top hat. Okay.
Let's. It sounds like Juniper. Why don't you be up front then?
Okay. Yeah, Juniper can be in the front.
Not very strong.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you've made this this chain. I think this is something you probably do, right? But
as soon as we say tail chain,
like
it's a known thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mice shenanigans, but it's like this is the first time you've done it where it hasn't been a game.
That's true.
So,
yes.
Yeah. So okay, all right. So Joe, why don't you go ahead and roll for Crocus?
All right, we got beat an 11. That is a 12 and a 16.
Dang it!
Great.
So
Yeah,
I did not do it.
Yeah, so it's 11. Yeah, so I think what happens. So you're all holding on to each other like that. And I think Juniper, you get down there and like you're just like reaching out to kind of like poke the body, and you see that it's breathing, and you see that it is Gildy down there. Gildy is like passed out, like looks like he might be like bleeding a little bit too from the head. Like he tried to like jump in there and tumble and knocked himself out. Yeah, so his hat's in one spot and he's in another. And as you make the realization that this is Gildy, I think that's Crocus when you sort of like lose it and you topple forward as well. So that whole chain, you sort of
all of us are in
there.
Oh no!
Yeah. So Juniper has the experience of like going in there and then like in rapid succession having all three siblings slide down and just like
Gildy, you're like, no, stop, don't come in here.
yeah,
getting flashbacks of tobogganing as a kid.
Yeah, so I think you all sort of end up in like a puddle of mice on top of Gildy, and I think this probably like wakes Gildy up enough to be like, what's going on? Who is it? And like he'll like open his eyes a little bit and like, what are you four doing here?
We're being heroes.
Brave.
Yeah.
You didn't come
brave.
home.
We're saving you.
Yeah. I've been down here for 3 days. I didn't think anyone was going to come.
Rosie?
Where's Rosie? Rosie, I don't know where Rosie went.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
When was the last time
we
you saw her?
were going to turn on the projector, and something came over me. I just couldn't help myself. I just jumped in here and I hit my head on the way down.
Well, we're here.
Well,
to
we're
save
all
you.
here now. Yeah. Do you feel
You're here to
safe
save
yet?
me? No, not at all. It seems like we're in a worse
Aw.
position.
we're
Well,
doing
that's
great.
not very nice to say that. We're still working on it. It's a
We're
work in
brave.
progress.
None of us are stupid yet. It's fine.
You four are brave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, how did you get past the owl?
We promised him the obelisk.
The obelisk? Whew. Iris, what?
Yes, for the I like gesture and then realize he can't see the obelisk on the floor, and I'm like, he asked for the obelisk.
But you, and he's like holding his head. It's like, but you talked to Struts?
Well, yeah, Daisy and Crocus weren't very stealthy. So
Very stealthy.
They got
You
caught.
didn't go under the seats?
What about the spiders?
The spiders? They weren't that bad.
Oh, well.
Oh,
That
we're
was
scared of
room around
spiders.
Yeah, he's doing like classic older brother stuff. He's like, I can't believe how dumb you are, like, but also please save me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you want to do? How do you want to get out of this mess?
Okay.
Did they, sorry, go ahead.
Oh gosh. So my weapon is a hook arm, which looks to be a
Ooh.
long pole with a fish hook attached to it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Is this something that, like, I'm assuming it's not the length of 4 mice, so I couldn't.
It's probably
like,
the length
hook...
of like most of a mouse. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a bow. Can I shoot your hook?
I have, but what if we reverse tail chain?
Like stand on each other's shoulders?
Well, I was thinking of actually trying to throw Juniper because she's the smallest. But
I will happily throw Juniper.
if standing is enough to do it, that's great
Yes.
too.
Do you have anything
Yes.
like a rope that I can throw over the edge for you?
Yeah.
I have a tail.
Okay.
Hook
Oh boy.
Dude, yeah. If you did want to stand on each other's shoulders, right, you now have 5 mice down there. So it would be possible for you to, figure out a way to like, I don't know. There's probably a good math equation here, right? For like the length of your tail that you had to get down there. Now, if you subtract that and add another mouse on top, like you could get up high enough. And I think that, that Crocus, you could, on top of everybody's shoulders, you could reach up and get that hook up there.
Okay.
Maybe once you're out, you can send something down to pull us out. Because you are pretty strong. And if we're doing one at a time, you might not fall in.
Or what if we just climb each other?
Oh, like make a little ladder?
Yeah, I could just hang on with the hook on the edge.
So you're hanging out, and then we're all hanging out. Okay.
Yeah.
Just climb up you.
Let's do that.
Honestly, that might be some of the best lateral thinking I've ever heard. A group do. So I will go. I don't even think you need to roll for that. That seems pretty straightforward.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was really worried I was going to fail another strength check.
Yeah. Right. Gildy's pretty weak at this point, right? Like, so, but I mean, so I think he can, you do your ladder, you hook on, and you start to get up there like that. And so I think Gildy climbs up, and then, just one after another, you kind of get up there. So Crocus, you're like holding on, and it kind of gets lighter and lighter and lighter, although like all of your siblings are sort of
clambering over me.
Yeah. But you all eventually get out, and I think you are, Brandon, you did get your wish. Everybody is all like greased up at this point.
Terrible.
I think you can lick your fur, and like you said, you really haven't had butter before, right? Like, so this is just delicious, right?
Decadent.
And if you hadn't saved your will save already, I'd make you make another one. But I guess Gildy's gonna to like point over to where the projection room is. Like, well, I mean, I'll be fine here if you can just go to the projection room. And can you turn that on? Are you capable? I mean, how did you make it? I'm still so amazed you made it out here.
We are so brave, and we can do anything.
Yeah. We make bargains with owls now. So
yeah,
we
give an owl alcohol.
We did.
Yeah, like
I stole from a possum, and I adjust my leaf.
Gildy is just gonna like shake his head and be like, none of those seem like brave ideas.
Well, you're silly, so we don't have to listen to you.
Does he still have his top hat? Or is it...
Oh yeah, he for sure grabbed that.
Okay. I was really worried that he'd left his top hat behind, and I was going to be like,
it's probably like a little crushed. Like,
like
he normally keeps really good care of it. It's been crushed a little bit. Yeah, so he'll indicate and be like, well, I mean, if you can do it, go. And like, I mean, keep an eye out for Rosie if you see her.
Yeah, we'll go look for her.
All right. We'll go scramble up to the projection room.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think you, just quick time check, it's like almost 10, so I think we'll speed along a little bit. So, you get up into the projection room. I think it's a little bit of a tough climb up this ladder, but I think, your mice, you figure out a way to do it, going from rung to rung. You get up there, and it's quite dark when you get into the projection room. Initially quite dark when you get up there, but what you see is there's that one window that I mentioned where the projector kind of shoots the light out of. So there's a little bit of light coming in through there, and that's just enough to see that there's all this like film stock sort of like hanging around on in various places, hanging off of shelves and things like that, and also hanging from the ceiling as well. And you also see that there's lightning bugs inside of the projection room that are just sort of like blinking every once in a while and like lighting up like single frames from different movies and stuff as you're looking in there. But you can see the projector is also set up just in the middle of the room. It is not on, right? So that's sort of what you see initially when you get in there. What do you do?
Does anyone know what on is?
No. I know we need to make light. Do we need to gather all these blinking lights and put them in that big machine to make the light?
That must be it.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
We probably should have asked, shouldn't we?
I think we can retcon that. I think Yorick told you a little bit of what to expect when you got up there.
Fair.
Can I do a quick check around to see if I see any sign of Rosie or her cloak in here?
Yeah, why don't you can take a minute to look around. And I think you look around, and what you see is in like kind of the far corner, there's a not the far corner. So near the projector, that there is a an orange bucket set up like that, and you can as soon as you start to like move around, you hear some noise from inside of that bucket.
Is it a bucket full of cream?
No.
Okay.
Is the
so
bucket
this is
like
not a Christopher Walken morality tale?
No.
Is the bucket like upside down, or is it like open?
It's open to
okay.
the air.
Okay. Hello?
Crocus?
Do I recognize that? Is that Rosie?
Yeah, that's Rosie.
Oh my gosh, it's Rosie.
Crocus, what are you doing up here?
Go
get help.
We are help.
We are the help.
Your help? Oh no.
Of course.
We already got Gildy.
You got Gildy. He fell in days ago, and then I fell in here.
Yeah, but we made the mouse ladder.
You made the mouse ladder. The mouse ladder?
Yeah. It's the reverse of the mouse tail chain.
Yeah, and you can almost hear her thinking that through. Like, that was really smart.
We are very
practicing
brave.
all these years, all these months.
Yeah.
All these months.
All these days.
Yeah.
How big is this bucket? Is this something that we could try to the four of us push over so that she could escape?
Yeah, I mean, you probably could from the outside. You could probably figure out a way to push it over.
Is there any film on the floor?
Yeah,
could we
film on the floor.
Throw an end of film into the bucket and hold on to it like a Rapunzel situation?
Yeah,
I love that.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah. So I think you for sure can do that. Right? There's plenty of film sort of all around this place like that, and it's also light. So it doesn't even weigh as much as juniper, so you can toss it. Yeah. So I think you can get kind of a roll up there. You get it up and over, and I think then you see Rosie sort of clambering out. You can see her red cloak sort of before you see her get out, and she'll jump out and be like, "That was really good thinking. I'm impressed. You made it all the way up here. How did you get past the owl?"
We'll explain that later.
Yeah.
Do you know how to turn this on?
And she'll say I was trying to, and then I fell in this bucket, and I think, and I fell in this bucket. I think you would recognize that this is sort of a humane mouse trap that someone had set up in there, and she had managed to fall in. There's one of those things. There's a stick on it, and she toppled in. And she'll say well, yes, York told me how to turn it on. I think
he told us to. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't listening. Yeah.
Oh, that figures. I mean,
a lot has happened.
Yeah. You probably just thought you'd find me and I'd be able to bail you out yet again.
No, I just had to, get an obelisk for an owl. It's fine.
Get an obelisk for an owl?
Yeah.
Did you talk to the owl?
Yes, we're very brave.
Did you promise anything to the owl?
An obelisk, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you should have done that.
It's fine.
It's okay. The owl knows that we live under the stage where all the water is.
Yeah.
Wink.
Oh, you went down there. Did you meet Whiskers?
The giant squid?
The giant squid? No, the catfish. Whiskers.
Oh.
What?
A catfish sounds terrifying.
Did you ran across the stage?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Very quietly, too. No one heard us.
We were so
Except
flat.
for the owl that you promised an obelisk.
Well, the owl didn't hear us until we crossed. Oh, yeah. We were off the stage at that point.
Well, you should have gone down there. He's a really nice catfish.
We can't swim.
I don't
At
know.
least we assume we can't. We've never tried.
Yeah.
We were younger then. We weren't sure how brave we were at the time. So, now we know how brave we are.
If it was
we've aged a lot.
Yeah. Rosie was like, well, we have to get the projector on, and she'll start like pointing out things to you. She'll be like, that bulb there, like one of you needs to go like, screw it in, and two of you need to go and plug this thing in. She's like, I just worked it out before I fell in here. Like that. So like as you're scurrying about sort of doing that, I think like you all of a sudden see the window, like again, there's sort of like that shadow that goes across it. Mm-hmm. And I think you notice that like the window itself is cracked a little bit as well. And as you are trying to get this projector on, I think that's when you start to see the beak of Struts like curl sort of inside the window and start to try to like push it open a little bit. And Struts will stop to say like, you said you were going to bring me the candy. What are you doing up here?
Saving my sister.
I've been waiting for hours, days down there.
Just saving my sister. That's all. Just my sister.
Your sister?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like you saved her just to be my dinner.
Is he still trying to push open the window?
Well, I mean, he stopped to do his little monologue, but now he's going to start to try to push it open again. So at this point, what I'd like you to all do is sort of describe to me how you are going about doing your tasks. We're each going to make a roll and see sort of how that progresses. So
someone's screwing in the light bulb. A couple of us are plugging in the projector, I assume. And then someone's waiting on the power switch or something.
Yeah, and
ready to turn it on. Okay.
Yeah, to turn it on. Yeah.
I have Daisy has a mouthful of insulation for the power cord, and is full face and both hands trying to plug the thing in.
Okay. All right. So you're using this. Sounds like a strength.
Oh God, that's the worst thing that I could do, but it's what I said. So yeah.
Who is helping Daisy?
I will also help with lifting this power cord, and I will help by like giving you. I will support you because I think you're taller than I am, so I will support you as you're reaching for the outlet by holding you up.
Okay, cool. All right, and then what is Iris doing?
I will have the bulb and be trying to figure out the like correct angle to like lining up those ridges with the ridges and to try to get that to screw in correctly.
Yeah. I'll say like it's like mostly screwed in, but like it's probably going to need like another turn or something like that. Okay, and then Crocus, what are you doing? You're manning the switch.
Would it be possible for me to try to hold push the window closed, like to slow down Struts?
Yeah, you can.
And then Rosie could man the switch.
Yeah. So you have Rosie there. Yeah, so you can direct Rosie how you will. Like, yes, if you want Rosie to do the switch, and then you can do that. That sounds great.
Be careful, Crocus. Don't be stupid.
I'm being brave.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So let's everybody roll at the same time and see how successful this is. So Struts is like trying to get in here, and everybody else is scurrying around doing their stuff.
What skill is Iris rolling?
Iris is going to roll dexterity.
Awesome.
I'm assuming that holding push and close the window is going to be a strength check. Yeah. Okay. It's another 12.
You keep getting one above.
I keep getting one above.
Yeah, just one above. Okay.
I got the light bulb screwed in. I got a 7.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you look over and Iris has managed to like click the bulb into place. It like will not go anymore. Juniper and Daisy.
I failed, so I drop you. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
I got a natural 20.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so bad at this.
Brandon's dice luck.
Rolling like me for real this time. The podcast karma is over.
Okay. Yeah. So what happens, right? So Crocus is trying to close the door a little bit. I think you kind of get like knocked off and you fall down. You actually probably take a little bit of damage. I know we haven't rolled any damage yet, but
oh boy, oh no.
You take 3 to your HP as you fall from a great height. Probably knock yourself. And I think Struts has managed to like like get it almost all the way open, but Struts can't like quite fit in here quite yet, right? So it seems like if this keeps going on, you might have a real problem at hand. Okay, yeah. So the bulb is screwed on. You've tried to plug it in. That's failed. Iris, you could go down and help them screw it in. You could try to get Struts away. I think Rosie has managed to turn it on, but there's no power yet. So,
okay.
You can also what do you want? Yeah, and also tell me what you want to do with Rosie.
If it helps, I might have an idea for how to get Struts out of here.
Okay.
What if Struts? We could feed the candy through the door, just one piece at a time.
I was wondering that. Okay. I guess I'll scamper back down the ladder to try to like grab like an armful of the candy and just start like throwing it out the window.
Yeah. You probably don't have time to do that.
Okay.
Right? Because it's enough of a distance.
Yeah.
What I will tell you is, right, like, so Struts can't fit through that door, but if Struts can get through the window, could get down to the concession stand. He doesn't know that, though.
That's true.
Yeah. We could tell him that. We
could, yes, that's true. I think, Crocus, you should go help them plug in the...
Yeah, I will scramble to my feet and like race over to the plug and try to help plug it in.
What do you want Rosie to do?
Maybe Rosie and I will go try to like stall Struts and start explaining the bounty of obelisks that we found in the glass case downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, so so I think so Crocus scampers down. Why don't you all we'll shortcut this a little bit. I think who has the highest strength, I
think
guess,
it's
for
Crocus.
plugging this thing in?
It's good. Okay. Mine is 11.
So Crocus, so if three of you are helping, let's say you can roll with advantage. We'll kind of take that as like one group action on that to see if you can get it plugged in. Right. So go ahead, roll, but don't tell me. And then we will also do what Iris and Rosie are going to do. So Iris and Rosie, you are talking to Struts. And you're going to what? You're going to try to explain.
I was going to explain, because I know we saw at least a couple boxes of candy. So I was going to try to like really play up the story and talk about like, oh, we found not just one obelisk, but like 4 or 5 in this beautiful presentation.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So why don't you give me a will? We'll
all right.
Check here.
Uh-oh.
I got a 12. My will is 6.
Okay. All right. Well, thankfully Rosie did succeed.
Okay.
On this, and it was contested, and Struts actually failed. So,
nice.
That all works out too. You managed to convince Struts to calm down a little bit, and that like I can get down. Like, so Struts will be like, Struts can get to the concession stand from here. And so Struts will say, well, then open the window all the way. Let Struts through.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's go back to you three. How did that roll go?
I got a natural 1.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Hey.
Okay. So as you're explaining to Struts that there is all sorts of like, there's a bounty down that way. If he just goes and flies down that way. I think like, the plug kind of gets plugged in. So Struts is like calm and like sitting on the window listening to you explain this, and then all of a sudden the projector like shoots on and just like blasts him full in the face, full of this like bright light. And Struts just like is like blinded. And I think like is like probably like actually blinded too, and like just like falls back and starts to fly away, just like in this like crazy flight, and just like runs into a wall, runs into the ceiling, and just is trying to make his way out of the theater as quickly as possible. And I think like as Struts is flying, like he's casting a shadow and like kind of blocking what's happening. And he finally flies away, and the movie that's playing, that like as it fires up, is Clash of the Titans. If you've ever seen that, the old one with Bubo the owl is up on the big screen as you just like kind of blasted Struts off. You have this other owl, so I think that's also a little bit freaky.
Oh yeah,
freaky to you, yeah. on that wall. But yeah, so Struts flies off right at that point. Yeah, and I think this will be sort of like the end of our session right here.
Okay.
Just looking at the time. But yeah, so Struts flies off, and I think you can make your way back. You go and pick up Gildy on your way. It's deathly quiet in the theater, as you're scurrying back towards the costume room. Yeah, there are no more threats here from above as you get back there. And I think, yeah, you get back to York, and I think York is so thankful to see all 6 of you. So I can't believe you brought back both Rosie and Gildy, and you managed to get rid of Struts, and you managed to scare off the termites. Like, this is truly a good day for us.
Yeah.
We were very flat and very brave.
So brave.
And we weren't stupid.
No, we were not stupid.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for playing. This was really fun.
Yeah. Thanks for running it.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that has been, that's the Artemis, and this is a little bit of taste of Mouse Rider. So there's a whole combat system that we didn't really interface with because you kept on trying to solve stuff in a clever way, which is exactly how you should do it, given how squishy you are. And there's some magic stuff too that we didn't quite get into. Although Yorick used some magic to talk to the termites and stuff. But thank you. So I'm just going to do kind of quick wrap up again. Just amazing to have you on here. This is always a highlight of the year for us to do this. And just really appreciate you taking a couple hours out of your week to play this game together. Yeah. And hopefully for those that were listening to this, it was fun. You got to see just the joy of running or joy of playing a tabletop game. With friends. So, super good. All right. Well, I have been Chris Salzman for Roll for Topic. And remember, if your players are having fun, you're a great GM.